This is the Farm Monitor. For over 50 years, your source for agribusiness news and features from around the Southeast and across the country, focusing on one of the nation's top industries, agriculture. The Farm Monitor is produced by one of the largest general farm organizations, the Georgia Farm Bureau. Now here are your hosts, Ray DeLessio and Kenny Bergamy.
All right, like clockwork, time for the slow zoom in. Here's where I say, welcome to the program. Ray D, Kenny B with you for the next 30 minutes. And now I cue Kenny.
Yeah, giving away all our secrets, aren't you?
Just a little bit.
As Ray said, welcome to the program, and once again, we think it is a good one. Straight ahead, like the old adage says, if at first you don't succeed, try again, especially when it comes to that homemade cooking. Damon Jones on how a family recipe, 80 years in the making, hit pay dirt at the annual Flavor of Georgia contest. Speaking of pay dirt, it's only their first season doing strawberries, and already this Dodge County U-Pick is talking expansion. The factors that led to BECK Farms Produce being the go-to place for Georgia's sweet, delicious treats.
Plus, we've got a real treat for all you Atlanta Braves fans. It's our one-on-one with Jeff FRANCOEUR. Not about baseball, though. Nope. This conversation is about blueberries and how Jeff got bitten by the ag bug. These stories and so much more start right now on the Farm Monitor. Well, since its debut in 2007, more than 1,600 startups have entered their product into the Flavor of Georgia contest with the hopes of taking home the coveted Grand Prize Award. Damon Jones looks at the 2020 winner, Charleston and Church of DeKalb County, who put a twist on a long-standing family recipe.
What started off as a family tradition in his grandmother's kitchen has now turned into a product worthy of being named the Flavor of Georgia Grand Champion. Its accomplishment that was literally decades in the making.
I started making these cheese rounds with my grandmother when I was a kid in our kitchen in Charleston, or in her kitchen at the time actually. And when I came over to visit her, the only way to get to eat what she was making was either one, cook it, or two, wait for my other two brothers and sister to get some with me. So I always wanted to cook. It always makes me think of my grandmother and how proud she'd be as she saw all this. So.
One of the big obstacles to overcome for new businesses is breaking into the marketplace, which is the main reason for the annual Flavor of Georgia contest, as its branding can open doors for startup companies.
So my husband has had this yummy cheese round recipe in his family for over 80 years, and I thought Flavor of Georgia was an amazing opportunity for Georgia food entrepreneurs to kind of get out there. And so that was my real motivation. All the products, I buy so many locally grown products that were winners from Flavor of Georgia, and I thought if we just win this, that'll give us the kick that we need to get into the marketplace.
And so far, the exposure has done that and more, as Charleston and Church has seen a major uptick in prospective buyers.
The interest in our product is booming. We get emails almost every day asking when we're coming to market, and we are going to sell wholesale, so to retail boutiques and outlets, hopefully throughout the Southeast. We've had lots of inquiries, and we hope to be in a retail outlet near you soon.
The overall goal is we'd love to get it on the shelves, so to let the public and of course the states taste, what a good flavor that came out of this kitchen and was tweaked a little here to give it that Georgia flavor.
Those tweaks to the recipe are what makes this product so distinct. While there are plenty of similar products on the marketplace, none have quite the unique flavor. It's why they believe it will have such a broad appeal to consumers.
We think that our cheese rounds are a little bit different than your maybe cheddar biscuits or cheese straws that we've all grown up in the South eating and loving. We add that little pecan on top, and we have that spicy kick that kind of hits your taste buds. Traditionally, cheese rounds are a Southern product, but we definitely think that folks outside the South will have a palate for the way that we make our cheese rounds. That little kick of spice, I think, really differentiates us.
However, it is still a snack that is based on Southern roots, which is why Charleston and Church is so proud to share it with the general public.
Well, that's the best, because I brought the recipe from Charleston here. I changed the recipe a little to give a little flavor of Georgia, and started handing out as Christmas gifts all the time. I'm glad to sit there and promote all the good products and crops and everything that Georgia produces and can put out there in the world. It's always top notch.
Reporting from DeKalb County, I'm Damon Jones for the Farm Monitor.
After a year of uncertainty, those at BECK Farms Produce in Dodge County are breathing a sigh of relief after making the decision to open a U-Pick strawberry operation this spring. A decision that's proven to be a smart move and one that already has them looking ahead to next year. Here's John Holcomb.
Nothing kicks off the spring season in the South quite like fresh strawberries. They're a true Southern staple that have grown in popularity over the years as people travel with their families to the nearest U-Pick patch to pick some for themselves. One destination that allows people that chance is BECK Farms Produce in Dodge County, a family operation that has grown vegetables for more than a decade and decided to get into the strawberry business this year and are loving it so much they're already looking into expanding their strawberry patch in 2022.
I've been in agriculture all my life. I'm a fourth generation farmer. We row cropped when I was a kid, and in 2010 I decided I wanted to get into the vegetables, and I planted 1 acre of tomatoes. And it's just grown ever since, every year. Now I'm at 4 acres of tomatoes, and we're right at 20 acres of produce. We've been a U-Pick operation ever since 2010 for summer vegetables, but this is our first year doing strawberries. So this was kind of like a trial run, but everything seems to be going good, so we're going to try to expand it next year.
Since opening at the beginning of April, BECK says that things have been going well, and that they've been busy as people have started to get outdoors to enjoy the sunshine, warmer temperatures, and what all they have to offer at the farm, including their new market store they have on their property.
We just opened our market up this year. It's brand new. We have ice cream, we have strawberry lemonade, we got jams and jellies. We'll also be offering shell peas, and we got bird houses and all kinds of arts and crafts we're starting on. So it's just growing. We've been very busy. Everyone's come out from a lot of different counties picking strawberries every day. It's just been an assortment of tags from all different counties around.
It also doesn't hurt that they had a great growing season this year thanks to a mild winter, and as a result have tons of beautiful mouth-watering strawberries for people to pick and enjoy with the family.
We planted our berries in September, and with it being a mild winter, the berries really took off. The bushes got really big quick, and we were wondering if they were going to go dormant. We actually started having some berries on very early, which is unusual from what I hear. And but we've had some great spring weather, and we got a great crop. We started picking a week ago, and the berries are loaded.
According to BECK, another part of their success this year is the fact that since the pandemic hit, people appreciate farms like theirs more because it gives people something to do with the family and often allows them to do that in less populated areas and is less of a threat to their safety.
Since the pandemic started last year, our business went up tremendously last summer. It's like everybody wants to get stuff off the farm now. It kind of opened their eyes to rather than just going to the market, coming out to the farm where it's more open and seeing where their stuff is grown. So I think that's really helped our business along with other farms as well.
Reporting in Eastman for the Farm Monitor, I'm John Holcomb.
John, thanks so much. And folks, don't forget, if you missed any part of John's story or others on today's program, you can still see them in their entirety on our YouTube channel, The Farm Monitor. Just be sure to give yourself plenty of time to scroll through it because the archives go all the way back to 2009. Well, from baseball to blueberries, one might say former Atlanta Brave Jeff FRANCOEUR is well-rounded. After the break, Ray sits down with the former big leaguer and learns all about the business he now co-owns with his father-in-law, Major League Blueberries in Nichols, Georgia.
His journey in Major League Baseball took him to 8 teams in 14 seasons, 6 of those with the Atlanta Braves. Now retired and serving as a Braves TV analyst, Jeff FRANCOEUR finds himself on a different journey. Co-owner of Major League Blueberries in Nichols, Georgia, along with father-in-law Malcolm and business partner Win Morgan. Recently, the Monitor was invited to spend the day with Jeff, where he not only sat down with us for a lengthy conversation, but also acted as our personal tour guide for a first-hand look at the farm's daily operations. So Jeff, right off the bat, pun intended.
Yeah.
How does a kid who grew up outside of Atlanta, successful Major League Baseball career, how does he wind up on a blueberry farm? Give us a timeline. How did you get involved in agriculture?
I'm still asking that question myself. You know what? In 2015, I was with the Philadelphia Phillies playing, and my father-in-law retired from the pharmaceutical business, was sick of that whole life and wanted to farm. And they had 600 acres in their family, so he went to this conference in Savannah, met Win Morgan, who's a third-generation blueberry farmer with their family down here in Douglas. Get to short story, he ended up calling me and saying, hey, do you want to go check this farm out? And would you want to put 60 acres of blueberries in? Well, I started looking at blueberries. I knew nothing about them. And I came down here and saw this piece of property and fell in love with it. And I said, I will learn what I need to learn along the way, but I'm in. And 60 acres started to 200, what we have now.
One thing about farmers, Malcolm, they are brutally honest. So I need you to be brutally honest with me. Working with your son-in-law, how's that going?
I'll be brutally honest, it's going great, and I'll tell you why, okay? Because when our third partner runs this whole show, I come down and morally support him, and I do a little bit of work, okay? Jeff honestly is like a silent partner because he's so busy with 4 kids and living his life and being a Braves broadcaster and doing all the things he does, that he really is a silent partner. And he is a very supportive silent partner.
There's a lot of humility between his ears, and he gives people the time of day. He spends time during the harvest season getting to know people that work here at the farm. He invests in people, and so I think that's the biggest part for him is he wants people to know that he really does care about them, and he shows them that. So he's a special partner to have in that, and Malcolm the same way.
As mentioned, you know, you're a kid from the suburbs.
Yeah.
You could be doing a lot of things right now. I mean,
Yeah.
but you are doing the broadcasting thing. You could be hitting coach somewhere. You could be involved in the majors, but yet you're here on the farm. What was that aha moment for you, Jeff, when you said to yourself, man, I really love this ag thing?
You know what? I think anybody that comes down here, I've always told them you have to get on a tractor and you have to drive around for a couple hours. No phone, nothing, nobody to bother you, put the music on, and there's something peaceful about it. And you know, I love being outdoors first off. So, you know, between golf, coaching my kids, running, I love being outside. But when you come down here, man, there's something about connecting with the earth, you know, seeing these plants start like this big and these things, and now they're 8 feet tall during harvest and have 7-8 pounds, you know, on a plant. And to experience that, I'll tell you what, it makes your heart get going, and I love every second of it. Blueberries, you guys really picked an interesting commodity to go into, because blueberry is one of the hardest things to grow, and you have to deal with so many things. What has been the biggest thing that you've learned? What's been the biggest lesson that you've learned from it all?
The biggest lesson is that you learn that farming is a 24/7, 365 a year operation. And you know, there's some downtime after harvest, and there's some downtime in the winter months. But the reality is you're running a multi-million-dollar business every day by the decisions that you're making. And those decisions can be good and bad, and they're going to impact your ability to produce fruit and to make an income.
The investment and getting your investment back out of a farm, it takes a long time in agriculture. And so that's been part of a learning curve for them getting involved in the farm, that it takes a while. But now that it's here and we're cash flowing and things are better, it's more relaxed than it would be if we're not cash flowing. I can tell you that.
When you look at what you're going through here with the business and on the farm, and then your major league career, Jeff, are there any comparisons? You know, there was so much pressure to perform on the field, pressure to perform out here. Do you see any correlation between the two?
Well, look, farming's a tough business, and I'm sure you've heard that from numerous people. You know, it's very fulfilling when you're out here and you realize that you go to the grocery store and you see people buying your blueberries and buying what you've done and the hard work. But like anything, at the end of the day, it is a business. And You know, I think we've gotten frozen out in 2018. I never knew what the heck that was. We ended up putting frost protection because I'm like, I can't go through that. You got 2 million pounds out here and you get a freeze. I can't stomach that. The COVID last year, getting H2A workers over here, it was tough. I mean, we left a lot of fruit on these bushes last year because we didn't have enough people to pick. So learning that, it's a business, you see it. But I think the one cool thing, the satisfaction, is the challenge of every day you come here and there might be something new on the farm. But I feel like by 7:30 that night, we've conquered that, we've picked our berries, and you can sit out here on the porch, watch the sun go down in this beautiful field, and realize, you know, it's been a heck of a day.
Yeah, super nice guy, so down to earth, and although Blueberries is it for now, Jeff did tell me that discussions are ongoing about doing some pumpkins and Christmas trees and having people out at the farm on weekends. So sometime in the near future, that is definitely something to be on the lookout for. When we come back, sad as it sounds, the majority of them will never see their 18th birthday. But while they're here, those 17-year cicadas are gonna celebrate life to the fullest. What you should know about them when the Farm Monitor continues.
Do you care about the environment? Listen up. Here's a quick report card on agriculture's impact. If you're concerned about the amount of land required to grow our food, guess what? The evolution of agriculture has changed everything. Going back just to 1990, farmers would have needed 100 million more acres to harvest the same amount of corn, cotton, rice, soybeans, and wheat produced in 2018. That's roughly the size of the entire state of California. Get this, farmers and ranchers have voluntarily committed 140 million acres to federal conservation programs. That's equivalent to the states of New York and California combined. Farmers and ranchers are doing more with less, which helps protect our land, air, and water. America's ag innovation is paying off big time. Globally, agriculture is responsible for around 24% of greenhouse gas emissions. But farmers here in the U.S. are leading the way, accounting for just 10.2% of our country's emissions. That means agriculture's impact is far smaller than transportation, energy production, or industry. The truth is, America's farmers and ranchers have been shrinking their environmental footprint for 30 years. U.S. milk production has increased 48%, while per unit emissions have declined by 26%. Pork production is up 80%, yet per unit emissions have declined 20%. And beef production has increased by 18%, with per unit emissions dropping by 8%. Now consider this. Farmers are trapping carbon in the soil through cover crops and new planting techniques. Combine that with the carbon sequestration benefits of U.S. forests, and it more than offsets agriculture's direct emissions. So there you have it. America's farmers and ranchers are making great strides to take care of the earth while continuing to provide safe, healthy, affordable food for your family and mine.
Well, finally this week, if you happen to live in North Georgia, then by now you may have noticed some alien-like creatures climbing up your trees on your property or even hanging out on the fence while making some odd sounds.
Yeah, it's the long-awaited return of the 17-year cicada, or their scientific name, the live periodical cicada. They have been all over the news lately, and all too often they get a bad rap. But after speaking with UGA entomologist Dr. Nancy Hinkle, I am here to tell you they are harmless.
Well, Dr. Hinkle, let me just say this. I don't like to discriminate against anyone or anything, but these periodical cicadas, I'm sorry, they are ugly, they are unattractive, they are intimidating, and from everything I am reading on social media, they are going to be emerging this month from underground. They're going to swoop in, pick all us humans and pets alike up, and take us off to their spaceship, never to be seen again. Am I correct?
That's one version of it. Hey, and I take umbrage at your saying that they're ugly. They are black and red. You're speaking to a Georgia Bulldog here.
Well, the black and red, yeah, that's cool, but everything else about them is ugly. But right off the jump, I guess you want to say, there's a difference between the regular cicadas that we see every year and these periodical cicadas that we see every 17 years. So talk a little bit about that.
Excellent point. Live periodical cicadas have bright red eyes. That's probably the most distinctive feature. So if you're seeing a creature out there right now that's an inch long or more and has bright red eyes, it's probably a periodical cicada. They have a black body and their wings are orange. So yes, as you say, by comparison, the annual cicadas, the ones that show up every year, have the black eyes and the green wings, and they're going to be emerging after May. So any cicada you see before May, during May, before June, is going to be a periodical cicada. After that, we'll be having our annual cicadas, also known as the Dog Day cicadas.
And the one thing I know for our farmers watching this, Dr. Hinkle, they're probably wondering, are these things going to attack my crops? Am I in danger? What do I need to do? They don't attack crops. Am I correct?
That's correct. Despite their being called locusts, they are not locusts. They're not even remotely related to locusts. Locusts are more like grasshoppers. These are cicadas, periodical cicadas. They do not feed as adults, so they are harmless to you, your children, your dog, your horses, your crops, anything, except maybe newly planted saplings. So if you've got very young trees, don't plant them until after maybe the 1st of June or so.
Okay. And I think the other fascinating thing about this, Dr. Hinkle, or about them, they live underground for 17 years. The way, after I researched them, they basically live to die. Talk about their cycle.
Well, if you think about it, all of us live to die. We reproduce and then we're no more good and we can die. That's pretty much what's
spoken like a true scientist.
Exactly. They just the facts.
And I know they emerge after 17 years. They feed off the roots of trees underground for those 17 years?
That's right. 17 years ago in 2004, the mama cicada laid her eggs. Those eggs hatched. The little cicadas, the baby cicadas known as nymphs, crawled underground, attached their mouth parts to roots, and they sucked on root sap for 17 years, just growing, getting larger. So they spent 17 years preparing, as you say, for this upcoming orgy. So now they're out, they're finding mates. Once they've mated, the females lay eggs, and then, as you said, they all die, usually within 2 or 3 weeks. By the way, cats and dogs love to play with them. For one thing, they are lousy flyers, so they just spin around in place, and cats love chasing them. Dogs, of course, being dogs, are going to consume them. That's not a problem. They're not poisonous. They cannot bite. They cannot sting. So dogs can gorge on them if they want to. Of course, being dogs, they're then going to throw them back up. But they're not harmful. They're just fun.
All right. Well, I'll leave the cicada appetizer to my dog then. Well, Dr. Hinkle, thank you so much. We do appreciate your insight, and we will definitely be on the lookout for them this month.
Do remember that they're only going to appear in the very northernmost part of Georgia. So you're not going to see them in Atlanta. You're not going to see them in Macon or Tifton. You're going to have to make a day trip up to the Georgia mountains if you want to see periodical cicadas this year.
Good insight. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Dr. Hinkle.
Thanks for calling. Take care, Ray. Bye-bye.
I don't know. Maybe they're kind of cute in their own way. No? Okay. All right. Well, before we send you on your way, a friendly reminder that for all the latest ag news regarding food, delicious recipes, and what's happening on Georgia farms, be sure you check out all of our social media platforms, including farm-monitor.com. You'll stay informed and see what's up in the world of agriculture and with us here at the show. Take care, everybody. We'll see you next week right here on the Farm Monitor.
Have a great week.